scared that we need help. All the more reason to admire the courage of the men in this story. Among them, footballer Matt Rogers, who lost his father Steve to depression earlier this year. And the Rogers family isn't alone. 1 in 4 Australians will suffer from depression. 5 Australian men take their own lives every day. 5 suicides a day. But there is good news. Scientists now say they've isolated the gene that actually causes depression. And there's a bold new prevention program aimed where it can do the most good at the most vulnerable, our teenage kids. Here at Sydney's Cronulla Beach, Matt Rogers is a familiar face. He's a local boy made good, famous as a dual football international, representing Australia in both rugby league and rugby union. But right now, he's bearing the grief of every son who loses his dad.
He was a great man to be around. He was great fun. Behind the scenes, obviously had some pretty horrific unit.
Battling the demons of depression.
In his arms, he picked me up and carried me to bed. He made me feel so safe.
Matt was extremely close to his father, but even he was unaware of the depth of his despair.
Unfortunately, Dad probably came from that era where his problems were his problems and no one else was going to help him with them. He had to deal with them.
It's an all too common story. Up to 1 in 4 Australians now suffer depression. It's been described as an epidemic of mental illness. And it's men like Steve Rogers who are often in the eye of the storm. Suicide occurs most frequently in middle-aged men. Men who, from an early age, have been conditioned to tough it out, no matter what.
If you ask people what makes a satisfying day, you ask people what makes a satisfying life, it turns out they're totally different.
Depression is a problem on a global scale. But one of the worldwide leaders in the field, Professor Martin Seligman, has brought to Australia what he believes may be an answer by focusing on prevention rather than cure.
We get lost in middle age, and if we're a testosterone-loaded independent man, it's very hard to say, help me, I'm lost, I need love, I need help. And given that we know the rate of depression in middle-aged men today is very high, if you bring that face-to-face with the inability to ask for help, then you've got a recipe for suicide.
It's my very difficult duty to inform you today that I'm currently being treated for depression.
In January this year, West Australian Premier Jeff Gallop shocked the nation when he resigned to fight his battle with what Winston Churchill famously called the Black Dog.
It has certainly affected many aspects of my life, so much so that I sought expert help last week.
I see politicians at departure lounges and airports who are dead from the inside out because that's all there is in their life, that's all there is in their world, and it kills people slowly.
Simon Corbell knows all too well the pressures that drove Jeff Gallop to seek help. He's the ACT's health minister, but 18 months ago, his depression caused a complete mental and physical breakdown, and he walked away from the job for 3 months.
I was in bed, 48 hours straight, in bed, sleeping, not wanting to engage with the world, not wanting